Good afternoon, everybody. Let's take a look at your headlines on this Friday afternoon. If you are considering becoming a foster or adoptive parent, there is an opportunity over the weekend for you to learn more about that. I'll give you the details. Plus, a new freestanding ER is coming to one community. Plus, we're following a story about a Mobile police officer involved in a crash. Let's get started with News 5 now.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to News 5 Now. Glad you are joining me on this Friday afternoon. I'm Devin Walsh. Glad to be with you. I hope you've got something fun planned for the weekend. I know that school starts on Monday, so if you're a parent watching or a grandparent and you're involved with your grandchildren, you probably have a few last-minute things to take care of. So I wish you short lines at stores and easy decision-making when it comes to picking out those back-to-school supplies. I know how that can be when children can't make a decision. So it's very exciting for the children going back to school on Monday. And if you went back to school this week, because I know a few schools did, I hope your first week has gone well, and I hope you have a great school year. All right, let's go ahead and get to our big stories at this hour. You might have some questions about being a foster parent or perhaps adopting a child. That's number 5. This weekend, you have an opportunity to learn more about that. The University of South Alabama's Fairhope campus will be transformed tomorrow into a village of hope. This is a jamboree hoping to raise awareness and support local children in the foster and adoptive systems. Tomorrow, there will be food, music, kids' activities, and lots of foster families on hand to answer your questions. That takes place from 10 to 2. Again, it is at the University of South Alabama's Fairhope campus. Number 4, a man vacationing on the Gulf Coast is accused of trying to prey on a teenager. Investigators say Jeremy Smith of Loganville, Georgia, was in Destin and chatting online with someone he thought was a 14-year-old boy. It was really an undercover deputy with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. Deputies found the condo where he was staying and arrested him. Smith is facing charges that include soliciting a child for sexual activity and attempted production of child pornography. Number 3, a groundbreaking ceremony on a new freestanding emergency room in Northwest Florida. Officials with Ascension Sacred Heart celebrated the beginning of construction in Pace. The 11,000 square foot facility at the corner of Berry Hill Road and Chumuckla Highway will have 9 treatment rooms, a resuscitation room, and X-ray technology. Number 2, a big mess today after a garbage truck spilled gas all over a parking lot. The truck hit the concrete base of a pole, striking the gas tank. This happened around 7 in a parking lot on Cottage Hill near Azalea. Firefighters were called out to help clean up the spill. And number 1, an investigation is underway into a crash involving a Mobile police officer. It happened this morning in Spanish Fort on Highway 31 near Briars Lane. According to Spanish Fort Police, the crash involved a police cruiser and a scooter. The person on the scooter was injured and taken to the hospital. The officer was not hurt. And that is a look at our big stories at this hour. Okay, now it's time for our question of the day, and we're talking about airline delays, because we've had some pretty big airline delays lately. And so today our question of the day asks you this: what is the longest you have waited at the airport for a delayed flight? What's the longest you have waited at the airport for a delayed flight? Belinda says she's never had any issues flying out of Mobile. Now Denver and Miami, that's a different story. Well, in Mobile, Beck says they said, come on back the next day. Jonathan had an 8-hour layover in Minneapolis, and the guy next to me had the same amount of time on his layover. 5 hours, 1982, Stapleton, Denver, Colorado to Lambert, St. Louis. Brandon, 2 hours. Man, you're lucky if that's all you've had, Brandon. 2 hours, first time flying, learned that, but it wasn't too bad. 12 days or so in Baltimore. Michael, you take the cake there, coming out of Baltimore. Atlanta, over 24 hours, Delta crew on strike. 11 hours in Charlotte's airport, trying to get back to Mobile, Walter says. Wow, that's a lot. 6 hours, Dennis says, 3 weeks ago in Detroit. That's the worst. 2 full days, says Carla. 36 hours, says Rose. 14 hours when I was in the Army. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse. You go on a trip, either you're going on a trip and you're sitting in the airport waiting, or you're trying to get home, and you know that feeling. You just want to get home, and you're delayed. That's so annoying. Thank you very much for your comments on that. And now for our question of the day, our poll of the day, rather. The Office has a new spinoff called The Paper. So, will you watch? The Office has a new spinoff called The Paper. Will you watch? Yes or no? Let us know. And if you want to participate in our question or poll, you still have time. You can find it on WKRG's Facebook page or WKRG.com. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me for this edition of News 5 Now. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you back for WKRG News 5 at 5 o'clock. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.